Stevie, another good workout this afternoon against a strong Premiership outfit.
It was. I've just said to the press and the journalists there, Jack, I would rather play a game like that in pre-season than play a team 3 or 4 leagues below us and probably have all of the ball and score a few goals, which is great, but you probably don't learn as much as you would learn in that game. You're playing against a really good side, a really settled side. There's real continuity within that squad. We're obviously bringing a lot of boys in for the first time. We're also bringing a lot of trialists in as well. But it was great for the lads. Physically, you get so much out of a game like that because you're having to run and move all the time. But secondly as well, about the game intelligence, and you're always having to try and switch on against them. Whereas in games you have all the ball and you score a few goals, it's great and the fans love that and I get that. But the reality is we'll get more out of that 90 minutes than we will probably most other pre-season games this season.
We're a new team, as you say, only 4 or 5 from last season. You've brought in some experienced League 2 players, some young guys as well. How are you happy with how the squad's shaping up?
We're still 3 or 4 away. I'm happy. Probably defensively, goalkeeper, defensively, midfield. I'm settled. We sign a loan players coming in Tuesday, Wednesday from a championship club, a wide player. So that'll be done. I agreed that with the manager at the start of the close season. So I've been in talks to get that one done. So they'll come in. They've got league experience as well and playing league experience. And so they'll come in for the championship club. I'm in talks with a striker. And then I'm obviously still in talks with Calvin Orsi. So if we can get the 3, the wide player, the striker and Calvin added to what we've already got up the top end of the pitch with Tony, Chrissy Johnson will get fit. There's no doubt about that. He'll get fit in the next, he's fitter than 2 weeks ago he was, and we're seeing that improvement. That'll just keep coming. And then Ali Roy coming in again and getting fitter. I thought Ali's movement at times today as well, his willingness to run in behind. And he's not going to be playing against Gogic every week, with the greatest respect in the world. That's the quality he's playing against today. And I don't mean to be disrespectful for him to our level, but that's not the level he'll be playing against week in, week out. So a lot of things to still to happen, Jack. There's 2 or 3 things hopefully will happen this week and we'll strengthen that top end of the pitch.
It's obviously been a positive week for the club with officially coming out of administration. What have your early interactions with Mario been and how do you see things shaping up in the next few weeks?
Well, I've obviously one of the first to speak to Mario when he made the decision, and our chats have been really, really good, really positive. I think he's a very positive person. I think he's quite infectious in terms of the way he goes about his business, and he's bringing a real positivity to the club. So it's important. The club's been in a real doldrums as such for the last 7-8 months, probably longer than that if we're all absolutely honest. Over the last 3 or 4 years, there's not been much to look forward to. There's always been a cloud hanging over it, but it seems to be that cloud's lifted now. So the one thing he's always been, I've said this previously, is he's been transparent. He's always been honest with me in terms of what we're able to get this year, and I'm quite happy with that. I know exactly where I stand, and you can work like that. And I just think when we get going for real and we get into League 2, the -5, that'll be our first opportunity, our first challenge is to go and get that and bite that back, and then we'll see where that takes us. But if we can build the squad that we're looking to build and bring the lads together, because it's a good dressing room in there again. We had a good dressing room last year, the season before when we were promoted, so we're looking to build that good dressing room again and keep that positivity and latch on to Mario's wider, more holistic positivity he's trying to get around the club and the community.
In terms of the rest of pre-season, obviously another test on Thursday against Irvine Meadow. It's a couple of tiers below, but a team that wants to play in the front foot, quite positive with the ball. What are you hoping to take from that one?
The same again. I mean, it'll not be the game. It'll be different for St Mirren. I would suspect we'll probably have more of the ball, so they'll probably be a wee bit more like we were without the ball, where they're sitting in a defensive shape. So this is what pre-season does. It throws different, scenarios at you they might encounter during the course of the season. I mean, one of the things I did say to the lads today at half time is you need to understand the win today. We're all used to it. We've all been about Dumbarton for a long time, but some of the new players are like, wow. And I says, well, wait till it gets to November, because that's just, it's a game of 2 halves many times down here, and we all know that. And that's something you've got to factor in as well, because it is a game of 2 halves. You may play the first half differently here in November as you do the second half. So all these things we're trying to get into the players and get into their mindset now as Dumbarton players. But going down to Irvine Meadow, it's going to be probably a wee bit different to what it was today. And again, that's something different for us to encounter during pre-season.
Just touching on obviously Dom and Gordon, both went off. Just precautions, no issues?
No, one's got a dead leg, Gordon Walker. And I'm a wee bit you know, because I want to get people playing at this stage of the season. And Gordon, I thought, started the game really well. Gordon Locker, I think, is going to be a good defender. He's very quick. He's seen it in the 1v1 situation a couple of times before he went off. But he just picked up one in the first minute, Jack, and then he's picked up another one just with a great header he does under the bar. And somebody came in and knocked him. I think it might have been Tony, our own player, sorry. So the reality is, we took him off as a precaution, but I think it's a dead leg. And Dom, just as he went to clear it, he got a knock and it's just spasmed his back. So touch wood, the medical people will work with him this week. We won't take any chances with him over the next week or so if we don't have to. But ideally, I'd like to get them playing between Thursday and Saturday.
And just a final question. There's an unusual situation today with young Falconer who's joined us alone, playing for his parents' side. How impressed were you today, even if it was against yourselves?
I think you can see his quality, his left foot. He puts in the cross. Do you know, I think for the fourth goal it's a brilliant cross. He's a good player, he's a good kid. He's still learning the game. Do you know, Stephen will be the first to tell you that, and that's why he's wanting to send him out to us for the season. But he's a great kid. The three St Mirren lads are good lads. They're all sponges, they all want to learn. Their application's been great, and we want to, you know, I've said it before, the one thing I've always done throughout my career as a manager is I've gave young kids their chances. I've gave them an opportunity to go and express themselves and play and hopefully become better. You know, and I could name a host of names, a whole raft of names that we've done that. You know, last year we probably did it with one or two and gave young players in a difficult situation the opportunity. But there's also been the year before with Keane Newbury and Gal and so forth. So, you know, it's about these three kids. They know they've got to work hard to get in the side. They know they'll not get in the side because they're just coming for St Mirren, and that's the way it should be. They're going to have to earn the right to play in the side. But certainly Thomas, Carrick and Theo, I'm excited about them because I think they're good kids to have running about our squad and to enhance us through the course of the season.
Thank you, Arthur.
Cheers.